Good morning, everyone. We're about to start the meeting for Postsecondary Transcript Exchange. As we have people getting on, you are allowed to jump in and comment. It is being recorded, but as we allow people to jump on, you can jump on and talk. Just a reminder that this is being recorded.
If some of you could drop in the chat where you're from, it would be really helpful, what post-secondary schools are attending, just so we know.
Matt Luce, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Mark.
All right. We'll give it a few more minutes. We'll start promptly at 10:04. As we're waiting for people to jump on. Again, this is being recorded. So we will be sending this out to people at any time. If you have a question, you'll be able to jump on. I will be monitoring the chat as we go. But yeah, welcome, and we'll get started in 1 minute.
Mark,
Yes.
are you able to make Brendan a presenter?
Brendan Isco.
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I already made you a presenter.
I just saw the shares thing go live a second ago. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So welcome everyone. I'm Mark Pativioke with THEC. I am the Directed Admissions Program Manager. As you might have heard this year, we're really amping our transcript exchange with NCS, NS, and SC. Sorry, I get it mixed up in my head. But with NSC and their product and being able to share transcripts, because we knew this was a big part of the heartache and troubles that we had in year one with not being able to get transcripts from students. So we have really partnered with them a lot more this year in getting transcript exchange for the students and for you all. So we're really excited to have Hope and the team together with us today and kind of presenting and giving us an update at what they have. So Brendan, I think you're the one presenting. I'll let you go first, and then everybody else can kind of introduce themselves. But welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. Again, this is being recorded. Any comments, put them in the chat, or if any time you have a question, please let us know. Brendan, you're up.
Excellent. I'm just going to share my screen here real quick. Let me know if anybody has any issues seeing it here.
Great. And then while Brendan's bringing that up, I just wanted to kind of just do a quick overview and welcome. We are really appreciative of your time today. I know many of you probably on the call. Hope Reynolds, the account manager, post-secondary account manager for the state of Tennessee. So really our goal today, as Mark mentioned, we are really trying to strengthen our relationship with the state of Tennessee and the transcript exchange experience with both high schools and post-secondary institutions as they are ramping up their direct admissions project or initiative. So today, Brendan is going to show you kind of how post-secondary institutions can access transcript exchange. And then towards the end, he's going to also cover how you can see who your current users are, if any, within your account. And we would like you to kind of pay attention to this information because later in September, as you all get closer to being more heavily involved in the direct admissions process, we are going to have a more formalized training in September, but hoping that you can kind of in between that time, review the users that are associated with your transcript exchange account. So I'll let Brendan get started. We probably will not take the full hour, but we will be here from a questions and answer point of view as well. But I'll let him get started, but we really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you, Hope. So my name's Brendan Insco. I'll be presenting today on post-secondary ordering and, like Hope said, also some user access stuff. Today's agenda will be pretty straightforward. I like to quickly talk about the electronic transcript exchange. To start off, all TC related PowerPoints, excuse me. Then we'll talk about accessing your user account, placing the actual order, and then also downloading the student's transcript once the order has been processed by the high school. And then we'll field some questions. So just a quick walkthrough of what this process is. It's very straightforward from this perspective. You log into the transcript center itself. You'll then request the student document. And then from there, once fulfilled, you'll download it from the transcript center as well. And then this is that overview I was mentioning. We partner with THEC to create the transcript exchange. And just a quick overview of what that does look like. In this case, since we're all post-secondary here, just the left side's what's important. The students place the request, the high schools process that request, and the transcripts are sent over to you guys at the higher education institutions. So now into the nitty-gritty here, actually accessing the ordering portion. So when you guys log into the transcript center, you'll be taken to this view here. In this view, there's two important sections. On the right side is items requiring attention. That's where you'll see anything urgent that you can access quickly. On the left side is a list of all the different options you'll have with your user access. The key portion for our presentation today is under requests. That's request a student document. Now, we do offer different levels of access within the transcript center. There's both institution level access and partner level access. Partner level users are your user administrators, where institution level users have a view that looks exactly like this. Once you select request a student document, you'll be taken over to this page to select the institution that you'd like to request from. There is a page before this, but for post-secondary institutions, it only lists one organization. That's your college. So we just jumped right ahead. Here, when you choose the sender, after you do select that, you'll click next, and then you'll be entering in the student's information. First, you'll enter in their first and last name, date of birth, and you can add additional information like the gender or the student number, and then select what type of number that is. We offer a couple different options under student number, but more than likely you'll select student ID on that list. Then after you put in that information, you'll select the urgency of the request. It can either be immediate, which has a 14-day time frame to be processed, or the order automatically cancels, or you can select end of term. And end of term is like, if you're familiar with our holds in our college transcript ordering, it's like holding for grades. Once the upload occurs, then they'll process that request, and there's no expiration time frame for that. Finally, you will just make sure that you have the student's consent and you certify that they've actually applied to your institution. Excuse me. Once you have all that information, you'll be prompted to move on to the next page. This is just to confirm everything's correct, that you've selected the correct institution, you've put the student's information in correctly, the urgency of the request is correct, and you can also add in a message. From my understanding, most people don't use that section, but it is there if you want to provide context to your request for the student document. You'll then continue onwards, and you'll be sent over to the receipt. It's just a standard receipt. The key point of information here is the tracking number. The tracking number can be used if you reach out to the clearinghouse for us to locate the specific request. And it can be used if you want to touch base with the fulfilling institution so that they might be able to expedite your request or put special attention to it. And just like that, that's how you place an order. Easy, breezy, quick. The next section I want to talk about is actually downloading a document that you'd receive. So on the right side, you had those items requiring attention on your access. The key component here would be inbound student documents. You'll see a 1 there when there's requests, or any number really, to let you know that there are requests for you to download. You'll select that. It'll move you over to a page. I have screenshots in the next 2 slides to give a little more context, but you'll go to the next page, inbound student documents, select the order that you want to accept it, and then it's sent over to your manage receive student documents section. That's where you can actually download it. And for added context here, this is what the inbound request page does look like. You can see there's a checkbox on the right side next to the date. If you check that off, the accept and reject become accessible. You'll accept the document, be notified it's been moved to manage student documents, which looks like this. You'll then be able to check again for that specific transcript request, and you can download it. We offer a download all functionality, but in this case, we're just downloading that first Eddie Alvarez up there. And you'll see in the bottom left a notification from the Transcript Center that the document has been downloaded. There is a view button there, but you should be able to access it in your File Explorer as well on your computer. And then just some closing notes here. If you are a recipient school and you need access, you can email k-20transcripts@studentclearinghouse.org, and our learner mobility support team can work with you to get the needed access or confirm and create an account for your institution as well if you don't have one. User administrators at your institution, they also have this access. And just like us, if you email us, we're going to need your first and last name, email address, and contact phone number to create a new user account. Your user administrator would need the same information. And I always like to tack on that there's no fees when you request these student documents. And that's what I have for you today. If you have any questions, I'm here to field them. Yeah, Matt.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So my question to you would be, do you have an ability for us to upload lists in mass for us to be able to download the transcripts? It's going to be very time consuming and difficult for us to be able to do this 1 by 1 for student transcripts to be downloaded.
To download the transcripts?
Well, to request. I know we can do it in
request.
mass to download. Do you have the ability for us to submit a list in mass to you for the students to be able to, for us to be able to give you the list of students we need to be able to request the transcripts in a large batch?
So back on, let me get over to one of the ordering slides here. Here we go. You can see that it says request another student, but I do not believe, and I'm going to defer to Lewis if he can answer here, if there's a way to mass order. I think the process will go, you'll place this request, and then if you needed to place multiple requests, you would select request another student document there on the right side or left side.
Yeah, Brendan's correct there. Right now, we don't have the ability to do just upload a list of students and create like mass requests. It will have to be kind of 1 by 1 at this process, or just the request another record option. But we do require to do like individual requests.
Okay, just be aware that's for most of our institutions, that's probably going to be very time and staff prohibitive for us to be able to do that in large quantities. So just kind of be aware that that is going to be difficult, I think, for most of us in terms of being able to use the request to get the transcript.
Matt, on our side from THEC, that is a part of our big push towards our counselors, is like giving them a list of the schools where the students have chosen. On their side, they can mass upload easier versus your side. We're hoping that on your side, it's more just like, I haven't got this 1 or 2 or 3 students, and that you guys can request it. And it's being fulfilled more on the counselor side, them sharing them with you in mass, so that you all only, this is like we haven't got this student's transcript, let me request this one, versus having to request all that you see on your list.
Gotcha. So this is really more, as you said, just as, after a certain amount of time, if we want to use this to try to get one, and it's been a certain amount of time, sure. I gotcha. That makes sense. I appreciate it.
I'm going to jump in. You're correct. This is supposed to be more of a supplemental process that we're showing you today, because I can see from a majority of the attendees today, you already have your Tennessee Transcript Center receive accounts set up. So that process that Mark just explained, they will proceed like when the high school counselors are sending them to your receive account, you'll be able to get those through your receive account. But this is more, we're showing you today a supplemental process if you're missing a transcript or 2. But then as a caveat to that, that's also why we would like you to double check the users on your account kind of after today's session, because we do realize that this more administrative process may fall to some more junior staff in your office if they're having to go in and make those individual requests, if that makes sense, if that helps.
Sure. Yes. Thank you very much.
Great. I see somebody else's hand is up.
It's like Laura has a question.
Could you clarify? I think I may have missed this. Are the request and the receive locations 2 separate links, or is it one link and we can receive and request in the same space?
So it's the same account with access to do both. Yes. So let me get back to that first page with the full access here. So you would be able to request over on the left side under the request section, and then you'd be able to get the document once fulfilled up on the right side where it says inbound student documents. So it's all in the same place, but you do select 2 different links to access both sides of it. Hope, yeah.
And then obviously we want to always point out that while we have been encouraging additional high schools to set up to be actual sending institutions with the transcript exchange, obviously not all high schools across the state of Tennessee do participate with the clearinghouse. So just keep that in mind as well, that you all obviously know that you're also, cover your ears, receiving transcripts from our competitor. But we are doing our best to do as much outreach as we can to high schools and offering this tool, because ours is obviously a free tool for students to use. So we do that year round, reaching out to high schools to see if we can increase participation across the state.
And I may have missed this, but did you go over how we need to request access? We receive transcripts, and I was trying to get logged in. My account does not currently have access to request them. Who do we need to contact to get that access?
What school are you with?
East Tennessee State University.
East Tennessee State. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go into our clearinghouse and just look at your access and give some more context there.
Yeah, looking at my profile, I see the receive records and transcripts and access activity reports are checked for my roles, but I don't have send requests.
Yeah, I found you right here. I'm just waiting for the page to load up.
Okay.
But
while we're waiting, for the people that aren't on the call or recording, who would they need to reach out to for that access?
They would need to reach out to K-20 transcripts at studentclearinghouse.org. If somebody on my side can type that into the chat, be appreciated. And in that email, you just need to include your first and last name, email address, contact phone number. I would even go as far as adding in the institution you're with to help the representative that'll work with you find the correct institution. And then from there, just let them know that you're with a recipient institution and you'd like access to place a transcript request. And they should give you all of the access. How I used to do it, because I used to work on that side of our stuff. We would give you all of the needed access as a recipient to request and to receive without needing this, but it's good to provide that additional context. And
I'll add
yeah,
one more
Michelle.
thing in there. Sorry, Brendan.
Oh, no, go ahead.
As another option, because I think the ticket, if you guys don't know, who has access, or you don't have access, but there's no partner level user, like an admin level user for your institution, and you need that admin level user is able to log into Transcript Center and create users, manage users, permissions. So I think when you guys are checking up for September about which users have access, also check to make sure you have, I would say, at least one partner user. Like it's not a big deal for us to add those types of accounts, so that the K through 20 can be kind of like a backup if you need additional user accounts, because that partner user should be able to manage it for you as well.
And that
Excellent, thank
K20 transcript email address is on Brendan's last slide, and we'll be able to pass these over as well, the slides. I know it's being recorded, but it is on the last slide.
Perfect. And Michelle, if you want to try now, you should have the access and see everything. If not, I'll continue to work with you and I can make sure you have the correct access to view everything that was on the slide deck.
Okay, thank you. Should I log out and then log back in?
Exactly. I made a couple
Okay.
changes, just log out, log back in, and you should see what you need to see now. Is yeah, I think in this case, you did have the receive and send, but you would need, let me get the list of roles back up here again. You would need receive student orders, send records and transcripts, and receive records and transcripts, which just go hand in hand in this case. That's at least how I do handle the functionality. When I set up an account, I give them both the send and the receive option. Other than that, you don't need anything involving the submission notifications or activity reports or even the transcript legends. You're primarily just anything involving receiving records. And like I said, I always add in the sending option too, but it's not required, mostly receive.
Yep, and everything is there now. Thank you.
Not a problem. And are there any other questions?
So with that admin account, is there any way for our institutions to know who their admin account is?
No, but they could, if they're not sure, that's where they should email K-20. And
Okay.
what our representatives will do is not only will they create the account, but the best practice is to obviously tell them who their user admin is for future reference. So if they need to maybe have somebody else get added at the institution or just for their own records, they'll say, your account's been created. Here's your user administrator if you need any other changes made to your account.
Mark, can you think of anything else that we need to address today?
I think you all did a great job, and there's a lot of great information. If they have, and I know you're going to show us the contact emails, if they have any questions, just who to reach out to. Yeah, I think that would be great.
Right. I know
so
it's K20, but I just, since I'm the account manager for the post-secondaries, I'm putting my email address in the chat as well. I can read it. It's just reynolds.h@studentclearinghouse.org, but happy to help or, pass you over to that K20 address. But some of you all might already have my email address on file, so I can help get those emails over. And I kind of quickly looked just while we were on the call and heard from where you were coming from, but it looks like everybody on the call currently has the Transcript Center receive account set up. So I think we're good from that standpoint. too.
I do want to note one thing, a bit not related to ordering and receiving, but if high school is sending a transcript via mail and you want to confirm the mailing address we have on file, feel free to email K-20 as well, and we can confirm where those transcripts are being mailed to. Because unlike with college ordering, the students do not enter the mailing address. We keep one address on file for those orders to be sent to.
Amazing.
yeah.
I appreciate you all and your time today and everybody that jumped on the call with us. Again, if you all have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and we'll get you to the right people for information. Other than that, I think we're good. Give you back 34 minutes of your time. Any closing remarks from Clearinghouse or
No, I just
from
thank
anybody?
my team for being on the call because we really didn't get to introduce Samantha and Louise. So thanks for being on the call today. And Brendan, I really appreciate the presentation. We're just here to help. So please know that. We know this is an incredibly important initiative within the state of Tennessee. We're really excited to be your partner with this. So we are here to help you in any way that we can. So please reach out to us so you guys can have a successful direct admission season.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone.